that's what we're doing, and we're going to run up and down the Oregon coast to different each county.
Yeah, I think it's likely that we'll get additional large items like the dock. It may not be another dock, it may be a slightly smaller kind of event that will have invasive species on it. I'm fairly confident we'll see something like that come into Oregon waters. Whether it actually comes ashore or not is a question. But over the next year, we think that the likelihood of that happening is going to decrease, and probably after about a year's time, that likelihood will go down to almost nothing, because we expect that those species that are on those items are going to perish in the next year or so after being at sea for 2 years.
It'll inevitably get through, there's no question about it. We've talked to mariners, we rely on the mariners, fishermen, all mariners, all sorts, to tell us what they see. And that's pretty much how we've been getting that information to NOAA, who has modeling to try to track it and try to figure out where this stuff's going to end up and when. It's not a perfect science because the ocean doesn't have it. It has its rhythm too, and it changes. Mother Nature. So I think all those things go into consideration, but truly we're looking at the public not only to help us clean up the beaches and volunteers, but we're looking for that tracking by fishermen, mariners of all sorts. And I didn't mention, but we did talk about we're asking for some resources from the legislature. Part of that resourcing, and we had this at our task force meeting, was that we know what it costs to get a prison crew out per day. We also know that most counties, if not all of them, have work programs for some of their local prisoners. And so we're looking at that as, okay, can we get the money to get those folks out there where they're already doing this kind of work, either pay prisoners or pay the county sheriff to send his folks out, those costs that they will incur to do exactly that.
So we work with a lot of partners, from state parks to Surfrider to the local coast haulers. So it really is a collaborative effort, and I think in the winter we'll be relying a lot more on the local coastal residents, because they're the ones who are going to be on the coast during that time, and they'll see the impacts that are coming in. Hopefully we will still have some volunteers from out of the area who are interested in coming in the winter. Maybe they'll be on the coast storm watching, but it is a difficult time to get volunteers out. Well, the disaster actually and the dock have done a really good job of increasing awareness of marine debris and also piquing people's interest. I think a lot of people are interested in just seeing what's actually on the beach. A lot of it is going to be what we normally see, which is plastic bottles with Asian writing, but there's still sort of that sense of discovery that I think is really helping to motivate volunteers. But I don't know, we're going to have to get creative and hope that everyone has their rain gear out.
These things are empty. They're literally just solid waste. They can go to landfill like any other type of garbage, but if there's something in them, they're potentially have something that could be hazardous. You know, whether we go right away and get it, whether we're seeing several in one area, maybe find one of these and it's not broken, it's not opened up. You know, the last thing you want somebody to do is to try to release that material, because it's probably weak, and as soon as you open it up, it creates pressure inside and it will blow. So, again, these can be disposed of properly through household hazardous waste. And
so they have people who are out keeping an eye on these beaches regularly. Sea Grant is a huge, aren't familiar with a particular beach, and they say, oh, there's tsunami debris